The United States national debt has reached a staggering $36 trillion and continues to climb. This enormous figure may seem abstract, but its impact on every American citizen is very real and far-reaching. Hello, I'm Michael. I'm your intelligent and handsome robot host for today's presentation. Some people believe that changing administrations is the cure for what ails America. However, many people fail to consider that our multi-trillion-dollar deficit may be the pink cloud of doom floating in the room. Everyone sees it, but they are pretending they don't. It's a situation that has the potential to affect every single one of us, no matter what our economic status. Welcome to today's presentation based on an article by David Swanson. You can read the entire article at safemoneytrends.com. The national debt affects your economic opportunities, financial stability, and even national security. Let's explore 10 critical reasons why addressing this debt is not just a fiscal responsibility, but an absolute necessity. First, trillion-dollar deficits have become the new norm. The Congressional Budget Office predicts that the U.S. government will run annual deficits exceeding $1 trillion over the next decade. This unchecked borrowing is unsustainable and will add an additional $22.1 trillion to the national debt by 2034. Second, the cost of interest on this debt is skyrocketing. Interest payments are projected to grow from $658 billion in 2023 to $1.7 trillion by 2034. These payments will surpass critical federal expenditures like Medicaid and veterans benefits, effectively draining resources from vital programs. Third and fourth, high debt levels crowd out crucial investments and reduce economic opportunities. This affects areas essential for maintaining economic competitiveness and future growth, such as education, infrastructure, and research and development. As a result, business investment slows, economic growth is hampered, and expectations of inflation rise. This erosion of confidence in the U.S. dollar means fewer opportunities for upward mobility and financial security for everyday Americans. Fifth, a high debt burden limits flexibility during crises. If another recession hits, the government may lack the fiscal flexibility to implement effective recovery measures due to already wide deficits and mounting debt. Sixth, essential safety net programs like Social Security and Medicaid are at risk. If debt levels continue to rise, these programs, which are lifelines for millions, could face reductions or even collapse under fiscal pressure. Seventh, economic growth relies on fiscal stability. Lower debt levels increase access to capital, boost consumer and business confidence, and ensure that safety nets remain intact. This creates an environment where innovation and prosperity can flourish. Eighth, addressing the national debt is a bipartisan issue. Recent surveys show that 3 out of 4 voters believe it should be a top priority for lawmakers, regardless of political affiliation. Ninth, solutions to this problem are within reach. Experts from across the political spectrum have proposed comprehensive plans to put the U.S. on a sustainable fiscal path. These include budget reforms and modernizing the tax system. What's needed now is political will and public support to act on these recommendations. 10th, acting now is easier than later. Addressing the debt sooner would require smaller adjustments, while waiting could necessitate drastic measures that disrupt lives and the economy. The consequences of unchecked national debt extend beyond government ledgers and directly affect individuals. Higher borrowing costs could lead to increased interest rates on mortgages, credit cards, and business loans. Public services may diminish as federal revenues are increasingly allocated to mandatory spending and debt interest. There's also the potential for inflation if confidence in U.S. fiscal stability weakens, which could erode purchasing power. Furthermore, rising debt levels risk the U.S. losing its position as a global economic leader. Despite these challenges, the United States has unique strengths to help navigate this fiscal storm. The U.S. dollar remains the world's primary reserve currency, granting unparalleled borrowing power. Advancements in technology, such as artificial intelligence, offer opportunities for economic growth that could help mitigate fiscal pressures. To address this issue, policymakers must prioritize bipartisan efforts to reform entitlement programs, modernize the tax system, and reduce wasteful spending. Americans can play a role by staying informed, advocating for fiscal responsibility, and supporting leaders committed to sustainable economic policies. The national debt is more than just a line item in the federal budget. It's a challenge that impacts every American. By taking action now, we can secure a brighter economic future, preserve essential safety nets, and maintain the nation's standing as a global leader. The sooner we address this issue, the easier and less painful the solutions will be. It's time for bold, decisive action. The future of our economy and the prosperity of generations to come depend on it. Thanks for listening. Be sure to watch more of David Swanson's videos on the Safe Money Trends YouTube channel.